Wonderful to see you. Ooh, and Sherry, is this a Ukraine thing you're doing? Or is this just what you're wanting to?
I've been doing purple for a lot of years, and this is what it fades out to.
Aha, all right. Well, it has a resonance. I'm thinking, oh,
Yeah,
so
it works.
excellent. So are we recording? All right, thanks. Well, I have a jam-packed. I had lots of different things come into me and to try on with you today with Loops and Scoops. So thank you for being here to play. So and if this is your first time being here, welcome. Really happy to have you here. I think I recognize everybody on here, but if there are anybody in the background who are new, you're so welcome to join us. This is my primary intention here is that we get the nourishment of connection. And then secondarily, that we learn the power of using our attention by choice. And rather than having our attention grabbed and drained and controlled by other people, that I and you have much more control over your attention and then where your energy goes than we think. And so one of the things we've been celebrating and playing with is the here I am and I'm so glad. And I wanted to experiment today with putting here I am and I'm so glad together with fear melters. So it's just an experiment to integrate those two things. So I wanted to just play with, the basic move is here I am, and here I am can be actually however you are. But I love the here I am because I'm welcoming, with my whole self, here I am. And then I'm so glad. And so we've put that together with love scoops already, but I want to put it together with the rest of the fear melters. So I wanted to have you play with an oozy, here I am, and an oozy love scoop, which is the antidote to fight. And, I'm finding that I need a lot of this right now. I need a lot of oozy because my fallback right now is whoa. So, ah, but that's good because it used to be my fallback used to be faint. I just go, oh. So, but we'll get to that in just a minute. So feeling that for me, if I put here I am with oozing, it also opens up my comfort with letting myself be seen, because I think a lot of us get scared with, here I am, whoops, not safe to be seen. So when I put oozing together with that, ah, I give myself more permission to be here fully. And I think it's so important for each of us to be here. Here I am. I'm so glad. And then how could we do rooting? So here I am. I'm rooting out into the universe. Here I am. And I'm so glad. I can feel my I'm so glad going down all the way through my body into my feet. So just the sense of, so rooting can be an extension of my energy in all of these different directions. And so letting yourself play with that. When I do that, I feel myself touching me more fully. I feel much more juice in my hands from letting myself root out into the universe. And then I bring that in. So that feels great to me. I don't know how that's feeling for you, but if you don't do it, you can't get a chance to feel how it feels. So often when here I am, I freeze because so many of us have been, you're awfully full of yourself. It brings up the upper limit for people like, who do you think you are to take up so much space? So you might go into a freeze. Here I am. So if you let yourself do a wiggle, here I am. So regardless of what's coming at you, if I'm wiggling, I can, if someone says, boy, that really looks stupid, I go, yeah, Yeah, it really does look so stupid, and it feels really good, but don't you do it because it's too stupid. So if I wiggle, it allows me to let energy through and to play more. So here I am, and I'm so glad, I can do wiggling scoops. And then, of course, we've been incorporating the love scoop all this time. Now, the other thing I wanted to share with you, so just take a moment to just notice if that has increased your aliveness. It has increased my aliveness, and woo! So that I invite you to add that in, love playing with, and you'll probably find other ways of playing with it. Of playing with combining the fear melters with love scoops. And I mean, with here I am, and I'm so glad. But I also wanted to show you. Can we have a picture first of the, yes, thank you. So I'm just at the very tail end of my cold, and especially when I get excited. Oh, no, not that one yet, please. The lava lamp. I want the lava lamp. Do you have the lava lamp? Okay. So when I was thinking about attention and about the exchange of attention, just let that play for a little bit. So most of us don't think, um, if you can push play on it, great. Most of us don't think of, we think of attention as being like linear. And let's see. Okay, so I don't think you've pushed play. Push play. So while we're doing that,
It's misbehaving.
pardon?
Now we have some guy, it's totally misbehaving. That's so weird. Let me try that
Okay,
again.
well,
Yeah,
imagine a lava lamp.
a lava lamp. I'll get it up there.
Okay, and
I will
while
not be
she's trying to
beeping.
get it up here, yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Thanks, Patrick and Zabula. Yes. So, yeah, we think of attention as being very linear. I don't know if like especially when people say pay attention, it's very pinched. But I was realizing that the main thing I want you to get is that your attention has substance, and you can shape it. You can shape it both for yourself and how you send it out into the world. So as you're doing your loop of awareness, there it goes. I'd love you to imagine your attention can be blobby. It can be moving around and folding into. And so as you're sending your attention out, and as you're bringing attention back to you, I'd like you to just imagine that how you would like to be shaping your attention today. So we have the basic move with the loop of awareness is shifting your attention. And when we shift our attention, that sense of flow, of movement, but also of this, that it has a fluid substance that's very malleable and that can surround you. It can cover you. It can be very drippy, but it can also be very encompassing. And for me too, the lava lamp, from my youth, was a way to kind of get into the flow rather than being, in linear, ABC kind of time. So as you're trying on your loop of awareness with the lava lamp, with the blobby and its shaping, just notice how that changes your experience of letting your attention flow into you. Like, where does it want to flow to in you, where you could create the warmth and the contact of attention? And where outside of you, either close by or across the world, where can you send your attention with that kind of substance that it provides a warmth and a sense of contact? All right, beautiful. Right. So then I'd like you to just take a moment and notice how that, just playing with that, how that's added to your sense of presence and choice. And then I'd like you to put up the other picture. So as you're looking at this picture, I'd like you to let your lava lamp attention go out into the picture and then back into you and out into the picture and back into you. And I was looking through the cards today because I wanted to get just the right one to assist us in some of the bigger purposes of what integrity allows us to do. So as you're playing with that, let me read this. I wonder how I can grow a nervous system that can handle expanding amounts of positive energy for longer and longer periods of time. So this is the big upper limit antidote. And to let yourself be expanding your capacity to give and receive more attention and to give and receive more love all the time. I think this one is a great one. So I'd like you to notice how your body receives this and let your body respond to what, because I want to say it again. I wonder how I can grow a nervous system that can handle expanding amounts of positive energy for longer and longer periods of time. And then you and the universe can answer that question. So I wonder how. And then letting yourself notice the impulses that might come, to even something like to have another glass of water or to let yourself turn toward the sun and let the sun be on you for, well, without you doing anything for, a couple of minutes. Those or shifting from something that irritates you to how can I create a space for all of this to flow through? So letting yourself see everything really as an opportunity to grow your nervous system. And notice that it says for longer and longer periods of time. It doesn't say all the time, or it doesn't blame you if you can only do it for a few seconds. It's really returning to that, and then remember, moves you from your critical brain to your wonder brain, because even when you ask this question, your insides might go, oh, right. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we're all going to really be able to do that. So the is something that you can use as your little reminder. I'm growing my nervous system to handle longer and longer periods of time of enjoying positive energy. All right. So now, welcome back. So now you thought we were finished, but no, we have now the Presence Connect play. For those of you who may be new here, and that might include the dog that's joining us. Oh, I love that. We have the dog plus Deborah, but and what's your dog's name, Deborah?
Teddy has a tummy ache, so he's
Oh, Teddy has a tummy ache. Oh,
he,
right.
he
So,
needs the loop of
oh,
awareness. If you
well,
could send
wonderful. Well,
some.
let's just include him in our loop. Teddy has a tummy ache. That could be the first line to a song. Teddy has a tummy ache. It's a little. So the Presence Connect plays that came up today are, they're some of my favorites. So Presence says, let your whole self turn towards what is happening. And that's been challenging for me in the last few months of letting my whole self turn toward what is happening. And I realized, especially this morning, that I'm experiencing a new ability to turn toward. Now, whatever you might think of turning towards is it's all got to be good, but your ability to turn toward is what shifts what's going on. So if you're moving away from or you're contracting in fear with what's going on rather than turning fully towards, you're limiting your power to interact and to make any difference in what's going on. So let yourself play with. So for me, I'd be sort of glancing at what's going on and then, oh my God, and going, back into my cave. So I invite you to practice turning toward and then letting your body respond. And then you could go into fear melters, turning toward and then letting yourself do drops of love. But when I turn toward, I'm activating my own resourcefulness, my own resilience. And when I'm turning toward, I can also be turning toward what's going on in me and participating with that. So let yourself notice, how are you with turning toward right now? Just notice how that is for you. So turning toward means actually turning toward. And I find also opening my body and opening my breath. Those for me are the building blocks of turning toward. So I'm actually facing and then letting myself, experience what is happening for me as I am turning toward. But the big thing that happens is that I get present. And nothing can really change unless I'm showing up, unless you're showing up. And so presence and actually being here also lets me know that I can do this. I can turn toward, and then my resourcefulness will give me, what can I do now? What steps can I take to make connection, to feel what's going on, to collaborate and connect. This one can be challenging. Choose to see others as allies on the same team. So you might want to start with people who are a little challenging, not the people who are like really effing not able to be connected with. So choosing to see others. So how about choosing someone, in your periphery that you would be willing to see as an ally? Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to see you as an ally, but I want you to play with, are you willing to see another as an ally and on your team? This commitment and this choice was the turning point in my relationship with Gay, way back, when I experienced him as always criticizing me. And we have this on our blame talk versus conscious heart talk play. But when I saw him as an enemy, or, I would just hear whatever he was saying as a criticism. And I realized I could choose to see him as an ally. And I recommitted to that. I chose that again and again, probably hundreds of times, until I actually saw him as an ally. And what happened from that, I love that, Patrick. Is that your Home Alone? when I chose to see him as my ally, the magic that happened was that the criticism dropped away. And I kind of didn't even notice that it was dropping away because I was focused on seeing him as an ally. So my peepers were looking for ally rather than looking for criticism. And so then gradually I began to see appreciation. I began to see possibility. I began to see what he was saying to me as in support of me rather than criticizing me. It was huge. So I invite you to do that with actually someone with whom, if you saw them as an ally, there might be more possibilities for you. So not somebody that would be like climbing Mount Everest. So don't start with Everest, start with across the pond or across a puddle to let yourself experience that connection, because that's what actually will occur is you get to literally connect rather than having a bounce off. And play is the toss, the most brilliant toss, which is tell me more. So I'm actually thinking of this as a bridge to people who have completely different points of view. So rather than saying, that doesn't make any sense, or that thing you said is completely false, if you said, tell me more. And then there's a sense of, oh, that's your experience. And I had a little exchange with someone on Facebook who, responded to something I had posted with, and you guys are always, and so I, I, instead of blocking her, which had been, that would have been my response, was off with their heads. That is so, and there is some satisfaction in that, by the way. So I have not completely given that up, but I responded with what was actually true for me. And then it was really beautiful. And she came back with what had really been going on for her. So she dropped into a deeper sense, and it really opened up. It was a learning experience for me that I did a kind of tell me more with her, and she did. And so I actually invited her to come to this, if she wanted to experience more connection and more possibilities, so that she's not feeling in such despair. So I invited her to come to Mondays, and she either will or she won't, but I gave her the link. So I felt really happy about that. So lots of goodies today. And yeah, so I think also my tuning in with you and, what do I want to share with my friends this morning brings up, different kinds of things. So please enjoy and use, and particularly I love combining fear melters with other kinds of things, because so many people I experience are sort of locked in fear. So I'd like to blend it in with everything. And so that I'm also keeping myself, well, I'm returning to openness. I'm not keeping myself or staying, because we just don't. But I have shift moves that really work. So thank you so much for being with me today. And please continue your play as long as you like. And look forward to seeing you next time. Bye now.